Right now, at the Metropolitano Stadium in Madrid, something extraordinary is unfolding. Arsenal are leading Atletico Madrid 1-0 at half-time in a Champions League semi-final. Let that sink in for a moment. Not at the Emirates, not on home soil with a friendly crowd behind them. In Madrid, in one of the most hostile football atmospheres in all of Europe. Arsenal walked into that cauldron tonight and they are winning. Victor Gyokeres stepped up to a penalty just before the stroke of half-time and he did not flinch. He buried it. He turned to the crowd, performed his celebration, and Arsenal went into the tunnel leading this tie. This is not a lucky lead. This is not a scrambled goal from a set piece after defending for 80 minutes. The evidence on the pitch tonight suggests Arsenal have been the better side, and the numbers back that up completely. The situation is this. Arsenal are 45 minutes away from a two-legged tie where they hold a 1-0 advantage heading into the second half against Atletico Madrid. The stakes could not be higher. A Champions League final is within touching distance for a club that has not reached one since 2006. 20 years of waiting, 20 years of near misses and exits at the wrong moments. Tonight, they have taken the first step in the right direction. Let me be clear about what is at risk here. This is a Champions League semi-final. There is no second chance in a match like this. If Arsenal had gone into half-time level or behind, the pressure heading into the second half would have been enormous. Playing in Madrid against a Diego Simeone side that historically feeds off home energy, a deficit or even a draw would have shifted the psychological weight of this tie, but they did not concede. They scored, and they scored through a player who has the composure and the quality to perform on the biggest stage. The reality for Arsenal tonight is that they have created the kind of half-time position that puts them in control of this semi-final. Before we go deeper into this, if you are new to this channel and you want serious, detailed and honest Arsenal analysis, please hit that subscribe button right now. This channel is called Melissa Arsenal Analyst and every video is built on facts, evidence and real football understanding. No hype, no agenda, just the full picture. Subscribe and stay until the end of this video because what has happened in the first 45 minutes in Madrid deserves a full breakdown. Let us now go through everything that has happened tonight, piece by piece, because each moment tells a part of a bigger story, the half-time score and basic statistics. Squawka Live reported the half-time score as Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. The goal was scored by Victor Gyokeres from the penalty spot just before the half-time whistle. That timing matters. A goal right before the break carries enormous psychological weight. It means Atletico Madrid walked into their dressing room staring at a deficit with no immediate opportunity to respond. Arsenal walked into theirs with the momentum, the lead and the belief. Now, let me look at the statistics from that report. Goals scored, 0-1 in Arsenal's favour. Shots, 5 each. Shots on target, 1 each. Touches in the opposition box, 7 for Atletico and 13 for Arsenal. Passes completed, 198 for Atletico, 240 for Arsenal. Possession, 48.2% for Atletico and 51.8% for Arsenal. Corners taken, 1 each. Fouls committed, 3 each. Here is my analysis of those numbers. On the surface, someone looking at just shots and shots on target might say this was an even game. And in terms of raw shot count, it was close. But the touches in the opposition box tell a far more truthful story. Arsenal had 13 touches in Atletico's box compared to just 7 for the home side. That is nearly double. That means Arsenal were physically getting into the most dangerous area of the pitch far more frequently. They were not just shooting from distance and hoping, they were penetrating, arriving in the box and creating problems in the spaces that actually lead to goals. The possession numbers also confirm Arsenal were controlling the ball more, though not by a massive margin. But control combined with the box penetration numbers paints a picture of a team that knew exactly what it was doing tonight. The extended statistics from SofaScore. SofaScore provided additional numbers that deepen the picture even further. The expected goals figures were 0.20 for Atletico Madrid and 1.18 for Arsenal. Big chances created were 0 for Atletico and 2 for Arsenal. Shots on target in brackets showed 5, with 1 on target for Atletico and 6, with 1 on target for Arsenal. Touches in the opposition box were 7 for Atletico and 14 for Arsenal. Possession was 48% to 52%. SofaScore described the first half as rather uneventful, but noted that Arsenal are holding the lead in a Champions League semi-final as the away side for only the second time in the club's history. Now let me explain why the expected goals number is perhaps the most important single statistic from this entire first half. Expected goals measures the quality of chances created, not just the quantity. Atletico Madrid created chances worth a combined 0.2 goals. That means across their entire first half, the shots they took were low quality, difficult, unlikely to go in. Arsenal created chances worth 1.18 goals. That is almost 1.25 goals worth of quality chances. The fact that Arsenal only scored 1 and not 2 or 3 is not a concern. The concern, if you support Atletico Madrid, is that the quality gap was enormous. Arsenal were not just slightly better. They were significantly better in terms of creating genuine goal-scoring opportunities. 2 big chances to 0 is a telling detail. Arsenal had 2 moments in that first half where a goal was the most likely outcome. Atletico had none. Victor Gyokeres, the man of the moment football on TNT Sports, provided a breakdown of Victor Gyokeres' numbers in his debut season at Arsenal. In the Premier League, 12 goal contributions in 32 games. In the Champions League, 6 goal contributions in 11 games. In the FA Cup, 1 goal contribution in 2 games. In the Carabao Cup, 2 goal contributions in 4 games. And now a penalty goal in a Champions League semi-final away at Atletico Madrid. My analysis here is straightforward. These numbers confirm that Gyokeres has not had a slow settling in period. He has not needed time to adapt. He has come into Arsenal and contributed consistently across every single competition. 6 goal contributions in 11 Champions League games is an outstanding return for a striker in their first season at a new club competing at this level. The fact that he scored from the penalty spot tonight is almost secondary to the fact that he won the penalty himself, which we will get to in a moment. But what stands out to me is the mentality. Big game, big moment, big pressure. He stepped up, he delivered. How the goal happened. RazedFootball broke down the goal in detail. Victor Gyokeres showed great strength to shield the ball inside the Atletico penalty area. His physical presence drew a foul from Hanko. That foul was committed inside the box, which meant a penalty was awarded to Arsenal. Gyokeres then stepped up himself and converted the penalty, breaking the deadlock and giving Arsenal a 1-0 lead at the Metropolitano. This detail is important, and I want to make sure viewers understand why the goal did not come from a mistake by Atletico. It did not come from a lucky deflection or a misplaced pass. It came from Gyokeres actively using his body, his strength and his footballing intelligence to hold off a defender and draw contact. This is a striker who understands his role. He held the ball up under pressure, he earned the penalty and he took responsibility for finishing it. That is a complete centre-forward performance in one single moment. Arsenal News Channel also confirmed this, describing Gyokeres as smashing it into the back of the Atletico net and calling it nothing less than Arsenal deserved on the stroke of half-time. Declan Rice, the engine behind the lead now. Arsenal shared a graphic showing Declan Rice's first-half statistics against Atletico Madrid. Long ball accuracy, 100%. Recoveries, 3. Passing accuracy, 97%. Their comment was direct. They compared Rice to Vitinha, who had dominated for the opposing team in the previous night's match, and said Rice was doing the same for Arsenal tonight. Their verdict was simple: world-class. Let me put these numbers into context. 100% long ball accuracy means every single long pass Rice attempted in that first half found its target. That is exceptional. Long balls are inherently more difficult than short passes. The margin for error is greater, the distance is longer. The timing has to be precise, and Rice completed all of them. Combine that with 97% passing accuracy overall and 3 defensive recoveries, and you have a midfielder who was controlling the game in both directions. He was protecting the defence and distributing for the attack. Sam Dean, a journalist covering the match, confirmed this view, writing that Rice is dominating the midfield, that Saliba and Gabriel look strong, and that Gyokeres is having his best half in some time, holding up the ball effectively from long passes. Dean's conclusion was that Arsenal are playing sensible, mature football and that they deserve their lead. This is what a complete midfield performance looks like. Rice was the foundation on which Arsenal's control was built tonight. A save that kept the lead intact. Live score highlighted a moment that could have changed the entire complexion of this first half. David Raya made a superb save, stretching at full length to deny Julian Alvarez. The save was described as made at full stretch, and the reaction from media and fans was one of genuine admiration. This moment is worth analysing carefully. Without that save, the score at half-time could have been 1-1, and a 1-1 score completely changes the psychological dynamic of this tie. Instead of Arsenal going in with a lead and controlling the narrative, both teams would have been level, and Atletico, playing at home, would have had the advantage of crowd and momentum going into the second half. Raya's save was not just a good moment, it was potentially a tie-defining moment. It kept Arsenal's lead intact and it kept the pressure entirely on Atletico's shoulders. The historical significance. Arsenal players in UCL semi-finals, AFC staff shared a list of every Arsenal player to score in a Champions League semi-final. The list is short. Kolo Touré in 2005-06, Robin van Persie in 2008-09, Bukayo Saka in 2024-25, and now Victor Gyokeres in 2025-26. 4 players. That is the complete list in the club's entire European history. Gyokeres is now part of that group. He has written his name into Arsenal's Champions League story with this goal tonight. It is also worth noting the gap between Van Persie's goal in 2008-09 and Saka's goal in 2024-25. That is 16 years between the second and third entries on that list. Arsenal spent 16 years without reaching a Champions League semi-final, and now they have reached one in back-to-back seasons and scored in both. The direction of this club is unmistakable. Sol Campbell's words and the 20-year wait. Arsenal Radar shared a quote from Arsenal legend Sol Campbell, recorded ahead of tonight's match. Campbell said he hoped Arsenal could get through this round and reach the final, describing it as a great honour to witness. He acknowledged that luck plays a part, but added a personal memory from the 2006 final. He said Arsenal had chances to finish that match, but did not take them. He said they just needed one more goal and could not get over the line. He said he still thinks about it now. This quote carries enormous emotional weight for anyone who understands Arsenal's history. The 2006 Champions League final is the closest this club has ever come to winning the competition. They reached the final, they played against Barcelona, and despite being reduced to 10 men early in the game, they held a lead. They could not hold on, they lost. And Sol Campbell, who played in that team, still thinks about it 20 years later. That is the context for tonight. That is the pain that has sat with this club for 2 decades. The players on the pitch tonight may not have been there in 2006, but they carry the weight of that history regardless. Every Arsenal fan watching tonight knows what is at stake. And right now, after 45 minutes, Arsenal are one step closer to doing what that 2006 team could not. Thierry Henry's message before the game. AFC staff also shared a pre-match quote from Thierry Henry. Henry asked a direct question. He said, "Do you not want to be at the top under pressure or mid-table playing nothing?" He said he knows where he would like to be. He praised Arteta for working so long to bring Arsenal back to where they belong. And then he delivered the key message. He told Arsenal, "You need to embrace that you are favourites now." This is a significant statement from one of Arsenal's greatest ever players. Henry is not telling Arsenal to relax. He is telling them to accept the responsibility of being a top team, a team that is expected to compete and expected to win at this level. There is a mentality shift required when a club moves from being the underdog to being a contender, and Henry was identifying that shift and urging the players and the fan base to make it. Based on what has happened in the first 45 minutes tonight, it looks like that message may have landed. Arsenal have gone to the Metropolitano, one of the most difficult grounds in European football, and they have played like a team that belongs at this stage. They have not played with fear. They have played with control, with purpose and with quality. That is what embracing your status as a top team looks like in practice. Let me bring all of this together. At half-time in the first leg of the Champions League semi-final, Arsenal lead Atletico Madrid 1-0. The goal came from Victor Gyokeres, who won and converted a penalty just before the break. The expected goals figures show Arsenal was significantly the better side in terms of chance quality, 1.18 to 0.20. Arsenal had nearly double the touches in the opposition box. Declan Rice was exceptional in the middle of the park with 100% long ball accuracy and 97% passing accuracy. David Raya made a crucial save to deny Julian Alvarez and protect the lead. And Gyokeres has now joined an elite list of only 4 Arsenal players to ever score in a Champions League semi-final. The situation is this. Arsenal are in control, not just of this match, but of this tie. A 1-0 away lead in a 2-legged semi-final is exactly the kind of result that experienced European teams dream of going into a home second leg. The second leg will be at the Emirates in front of Arsenal's own supporters with a 1-goal advantage already banked. Nothing is decided yet. The second half of tonight's game is still to come. Atletico Madrid are a dangerous team, and Simeone is an experienced manager who will make adjustments. But based purely on the evidence of the first 45 minutes, Arsenal have earned every right to feel confident about where this tie is heading. This is what 20 years of progress looks like. This is what Arteta has been building toward. This is Arsenal in a Champions League semi-final, playing with authority, quality and belief on one of the hardest stages in football, and they are winning. Stay with this channel for the full second half breakdown and the post-match analysis. If you found this video useful, please subscribe to Melissa Arsenal Analyst, hit the notification bell and share this video with every Arsenal supporter you know. The full picture deserves to be told properly, and that is exactly what we do here. Thank you for watching.